And this 12 states of the heart has been inspired from the levels of consciousness, and looking at it from the angle of the heart, from the angle of love and devotion, like looking at it from the angle of the Bhakti way and the Bhakti path. And we will be journeying through these levels of the heart, expanding and expanding and expanding, going beyond and beyond and beyond the heart that we're familiar with. But just to give you a brief introduction, is that majority of times humanity only experience like such a small degree of love, which is totally conditional love, which is the emotional love. And this is where even sometimes people get a bit dismissive of love, because they're associating love with emotions, emotional love, and everyone knows how disturbing and conditional and full of suffering emotional love is. There's a dismissal to it, but it's there for us to heal. That's the level of healing, emotional healing. It's where one may start on their spiritual path, healing the heart, isn't it? And then we start expanding. We open our heart to more acceptance. We start opening ourselves to accept another, or accept and heal the past, forgiving your past, forgiving your past relationships, forgiving your parents, forgiving. It's the opening of acceptance. So that's already touching a higher 4D. It's a higher astral, higher 4D, because lower 4D is the emotions you experience, the ones that are destructive. That is lower 4D. But when you're in that bigger heart expansion of forgiveness and acceptance, you're already touching a higher level of a higher dimension. Okay, so that is more, it's more experienced as paradise. There's still some faults here, there, but it's like a paradise that is experienced in yourself. So as we expand, how do we expand? By, let's say, processing, completing this level within you. That's how it happens. There's no line for it, there's no time for it. Everyone has his own pace, isn't it? But as our heart expands further, we open up to the inner light. So even the heart illuminates. The heart becomes illuminated, we may say, for the very first time in a lifetime, isn't it? It gets illuminated. We start to experience the heart. We start to connect with the heart. That is already touching the lower 5D. It's like the lower taste of a heavenly realm already within yourself, within your own heart. So we keep expanding. This is the heart's purpose, to expand and expand until it becomes the absolute heart, until there is no slight contraction. There, it's open. It's 100% open. Okay, so that's what it is. It's marking the percentage of your openness to your utmost, most unconditional self. So as we bring more light in ourselves, we're expanding that light into places it has never been before. And it completes at some point. There's a completion there. There's a readiness to expand the heart further. And it opens up to the inner love. This is the first like spiritual love experienced. Yes, the first spiritual love, where we start tasting something way beyond any emotional, conditional love. As we further expand the inner love, what happens when we open our heart more and more and more? We unify everything that's within it. We start to experience this unity, this unity consciousness. We start to experience that you're one with the planet, that you're one with the nature. Your love goes to the nature. You can hear the nature talk to you because it's the same language being spoken. You can hear the voice of the earth because it's the same language being spoken, because you're in that field of unification. So you can already speak the telepathic language of the unified reality. So as you can see, we go from the lower to the middle to the higher heavens. And of course, there's more sublevels. Okay, there's more sublevels because these dimensions, it's all frequential, and the frequential, the frequencies have a bandwidth. Once they reach a level, they shift higher. They keep shifting higher. So within even this, let's say general levels of dimensions, you will find even more subtle sub-dimensions too, according to the frequentials. But as we expand further the heart of unity, we open to the heart of presence and soul. So the heart of presence and soul is experienced as a very loving presence, because presence is in its nature already so loving. And it is where we get access to our soul because of the great openness that is now available. We may say that our heart here expands so much. It expands to the degree beyond the planet, into the space around the planet, encompassing galaxies. It's a galactic heart that we are speaking of. So once again, once you go beyond the limitations of what you see with your physical eyes, and you start opening the spiritual eyes, and you start awakening beyond the senses, you realize how unlimited you are. And the experience of the present now becomes ever so rich. So your life experience, the here and now, the more you're able to receive because of your openness, that becomes a degree of richness available to you. This is why you live life fully. You experience life to the max, to the full, because of the degree of openness, of not just sensitivity, but the degree of openness. So we expand, as you see here, in the level of the presence and soul. We're touching 6D. It's a sixth dimensional reality. Here is where the teachings of the laws of one have been created. The law of one comes from 6D, because that is the true nature of the law of one. It's all here in the 6D, it's already one. There's no separation, there's no division. In fact, as we come to the non-dual heart, the depth of our heart is so deep that it encompasses any dualities of energies, any likes and dislikes, any goods and bads, any this or that is encompassed by your own heart. So it's highly supportive, we may say. Your non-dual heart is not just accepting of everything, but supporting and encompassing everything, returning it all back to love. But this love has nothing to do with any energy as such, neither any emotions. Okay, we're speaking of a love that is not a love that it's like created by us in any way. It's a higher love. It's a love that is untouched. Okay, here from non-dual heart, it's already untouched because it's already beyond duality. So as we expand, see there's an expansion, an expansion, an expansion into the loving awareness. And loving awareness, like from the top to the bottom, remember that whatever is on top is encompassing everything beneath, right? You have to look at it from a reversed perspective. Because on your spiritual path, you are reversing, returning, coming closer back home. You're removing the distances, the spaces, the gaps. You're coming closer, closer, closer. Because you're coming closer, you're enveloping everything else. This is why nothing is exclusive, but it's all inclusive. All is already within you. Yeah, so whatever you see on the higher level, it's encompassing everything else. Loving awareness goes from 9D to 10D. It's the universal heart. It's the heart of allness. It's called the heart of allness. It's because it's the heart that has everything within it already. It allows and it accepts everything. Even duality is within the heart of allness. But the heart of allness doesn't judge anything. It's loving awareness always. So you can find your heart of loving awareness, and once you're there, you're loving everything always. And that's the beauty of shifting our consciousness. Coming further into the great void, you see that void of energy, you're popping out of the universe, out of the material, out of any form, out of any energy. There's no energy beyond here. It's not a dimension, actually. It's a plane of existence. It's an eternal plane of existence. So also may be seen as the divine mother's womb. It is experienced as a divine mother's womb because it's such a deep, restful place here that it's just so beautiful. It's like you're back into the womb of the Divine Mother, just like when you were in the womb of your mother, how protected and how restful, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing. It's a very beautiful, the great void is a very restful, deep, deep, deep restfulness. And as we move through this bridge of the void, then we come to the divine realms, divine heart. Yes, divine love, the truthful heart, into the absolute heart. So divine heart nature is the closest to God. No distortions has ever been there. No energies coming and going. It's this constant, eternal beauty of God. It's a divine eternity where it begins and it goes all the way to the boundless love and mercy. And as you can see, the absolute heart, it's all white. It's the whole paper here. It's all white. It's endless. The absolute heart is endless, and that's the absolute self.